Saudi Arabia has earned secondary emerging market status from the FTSE Russell from next March, and it could attract billions of dollars of investment and help the kingdom's move away from an oil-dependent economy. Plus, there's still the potential MSCI inclusion to come. Let's discuss all this with Saudi Stock Exchange CEO Khalid Al Hussan. Khalid, thanks so much for joining us. Obviously, this is a very big milestone. Tell us what this really means for Saudi Arabia, the Tadawul, as well as the region.
Well, thank you very much for having me. At the beginning, this is just a recognition by the international investment community for the reforms that the Saudi Stock Exchange have taken in the past 18 months to address the requirements of opening up the Saudi Stock Exchange and pursue a more attractiveness platform for international investors.
Are you confident that the MSCI will deliver the similar outcome in June? It seems like the momentum is behind you now. What are you doing to make that a reality?
Well, as we did with FTSE, we worked very closely with FTSE and MSCI, as well as international investors, to achieve the requirements. We're very optimistic about the positive reaction of the international investors. We have been very closely in contact with MSCI and international investors to address any gaps the Saudi market has had in the past, and we believe we are in a very good and strong state as we speak today, and we are hoping for another milestone to achieve in next June.
And Khalid, many investors before this decision were having their qualms, I guess, about the Saudi market overall and stocks after the crackdown on corruption last year. There are still some concerns regarding something similar could happen again. When you talk about geopolitical tensions, when you talk about sharp oil moves, I mean, that's pretty much fair game in the Saudi market. What would you tell them at the moment when it comes to these concerns?
Well, I mean, looking at the numbers is the right way to address such concern. Over the last years, the Saudi market has been very stable during tough rides. I think the recent events around the anti-corruption crackdown, look at the number just a week out after the announcements. We have achieved the record numbers by foreign investors ownership in the Saudi markets, and it's increasing every day by having more investors as well as more cash inflows to the Saudi market. So, and today's decision is just a reflection of the international investors' confidence and appetite to invest in the Saudi market.
And it certainly seems like that lays some good groundwork for an IPO by Saudi Aramco. Lots of speculation that is going to land in your market. How are you preparing the groundwork for that potential, $2 trillion IPO?
Well, as any other exchange, Tadawul has taken all required measures to address the requirements of such a unique IPO with such size. Aramco is a Saudi corporate and will be very glad to host one of the largest corporates in the world, being a Saudi corporate. We have taken all necessary measures to address these, and we aspire to have a very successful launch of Aramco in Tadawul in the next future.
But there's some who look at that and say, yours is still a nascent exchange. Saudi Aramco is such a huge IPO. As great news as it might be to have a high-profile listing like that land on your exchange, that it could in fact be very devastating. Could your exchange handle this? Is this almost too big to be handled properly?
Well, if you look at any other exchange, they started small. But if you look at the Saudi Stock Exchange compared to region, international, we're still a sizable exchange. We're the 7th largest emerging market exchange. We have seen a very positive liquidity in the past in several big and large IPOs. Every day there is a high liquidity in the Saudi market compared to the regions, as well as the increase of international investors inflow even before the decision today. That always an additional capacity to the capacity of the Saudi market. So this is as far as liquidity. As far as technology and operations, I'm very comfortable, and I can confirm Tadawul readiness on running such a unique, sizable IPO.
You're not worried, Khalid, that Aramco could just be basically representative of the index itself, that it's not going to bring everything else down with it? Not with it, but just everything else down, I guess.
Not at all. We're working very closely with all of our stakeholders to make sure that whatever decision the government takes and Aramco takes on the allocation and venue of the listing, it's a successful IPO. If it's only Tadawul, with comfort, we would say Tadawul and the Saudi capital market will address all concerns that you have raised, as well as we today did, will surprise the world with what we can do in the Saudi economy.
And Khalid, before we let you go, I mean, there are indications in the market that government funds have had to step in to give support to Saudi stocks in moments of general stress, examples like what we saw in the fall during this corruption crackdown. What's your view on that?
Well, this is the speculation that we have heard. We are a very transparent exchange. Every Sunday after market close, we announce all the activity done on the last week by investor category, including the government and semi-government institutions that participate in the market. And I would say we haven't seen any of these move, and these public reports are available on our websites. And the market just reacted normally, as any other market would react to any major event in their country or economy that they had. So the figures just shows that there is no interference by the government during that period, and these figures are public information.